Nintendo chose to throw us another bone when it comes to the Switch 2 and a potential announcement, and it looks like we're in the endgame now. But let's break that all down. Up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. So I think it's safe to say the Nintendo Switch 2, or the Super Switch, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be very sought after, and it's highly anticipated amongst gamers. For the past few years alone, this console lived in myth, with no real acknowledgement of its sheer existence by Nintendo, and that was up until fairly recently. And even then, that announcement was kind of vague. And ever since that reveal, announcement, whatever you want to call it, Nintendo has been pretty quick to the punch to calm expectations of fans around the world. And this is during each and every Direct as of late, clearly stating, quote unquote, this Direct will have no mention of the Switch successor. But since all of that went down, the only real concrete things we knew, at least at that point in time, Nintendo had plans to announce the Switch 2 during this fiscal year. Well, just last night, Nintendo held their annual earnings call, and Nintendo's president chose to throw us all a bone and shed more light on when Nintendo intends to reveal this console. And according to Mr. Furukawa himself, Nintendo plans to make this announcement again this fiscal year, which would slate this to all go down on or before March 31st, 2025. And again, you're gonna kind of say, yeah, no duh, we already know this, but there's a lot more that goes into this than many would believe. And this is because of other topics of conversation Nintendo would go on to talk about later on. A while back, Nintendo had some lofty goals set for the current gen Switch, and that's all as far as sales numbers go. And according to this investor call, Nintendo announced it would be lowering the hardware forecast they had planned out. And this is all after initial sales for the Switch declined in Q1 and Q2, and that's by nearly 31%. Now, there's no need to panic in the world of Nintendo, mainly because I think everyone who wants to have a Switch already owns one, so by now it's typical we get dwindling sales numbers. But according to Nintendo, when all is said and done, they expect to sell 12.5 million units, which was down from the initial 13.5 million, which at the end of the day, that's a 10% reduction. Again, I don't think that's anything to worry about. You kind of expect this. Everyone has a Switch. Everyone wants the Switch. It's gonna sell during the holiday season. So right now, I guess they're just kind of being realistic. But I think that would lean into this idea. The Switch 2 might get revealed sooner than expected. And I think that 10% decrease is a matter of adjustment, but that also means Nintendo is probably moving the goalpost here. And that's all to find balance in the Switch send-off tour and the reveal to its successor. And as far as the actual release of this console goes, apparently it's not releasing until Nintendo's next fiscal year, which for those of you at home keeping count, that doesn't start till April 1st of 2025. And no, that's not an early April Fool's joke. Now it's time for me to speculate here, and I'm not basing this off any fact. When I start to get a more vivid picture of the Switch 2, I think Nintendo might ride out this holiday season, and that's with no further mention of the Switch 2, mainly because they want to sell all the games for this Switch, they don't want everyone looking forward. Right now, the main focus is the Switch on the current market. But I do think a January or even February Direct could be the time and place we get such a reveal, because this is all after that holiday season, and nothing is really out there for Nintendo. And that's as far as big games go for the rest of the year. Or should I say the start of next year. This also goes without saying, there's a lot of time between now and April 1st, 2025. So they do have time to release something between now and then that is substantial. But I really highly doubt they're gonna release a brand new Mario game, or a 3D one, or another 3D Zelda, or anything big like that. This is where I still kinda hold out hope for more GameCube content for the Switch, seeing how that almost fits the perfect bill for the Switch send-off tour. And it would make for a pretty solid lineup of games to close out the Switch lifecycle. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this one off to you guys. When do you think we get the announcement for the reveal? And when does this console come out? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.